We don't hear much about Nazi women during the Holocaust, but they did exist, and Ilse Koch was without a doubt one of the worst. Koch was in charge of the Buchenwald concentration camp and abused, killed, mutilated, and constantly made fun of the prisoners. People called her the Beast of Buchenwald because of how sassy she was, and her husband, the Commandant, was just as bad. Even people with strong stomachs would feel sick after hearing about some of the horrible things Koch did. But what happened to inmates at Buchenwald because of the Beast was real and has been shown to be true. Everyone can be sure that her bad actions were caught, and she was punished for her crimes against humanity. Some people might say not strongly enough. Many people think that Ilse Koch, who worked as a guard at Buchenwald, was one of the worst women who ever lived. After watching about the horrible things she did, you'll probably agree. She married a man as evil as herself. In the 1930s, Ilse Koch worked as a bookkeeper before she joined the Nazi Party. The time she worked for the Nazis is when she met Karl Otto Koch. Karl Otto was a cruel person who quickly rose through the ranks and ran several concentration camps as a leader. Ilse didn't feel shocked by the horrible things her husband was doing. Instead, she helped him with his work and supported what he was doing. Before long, Karl Otto was put in charge of the Buchenwald concentration camp after they got married in 1936. One of the bigger camps, its main goal was to not only lock up but also kill Jews, homosexuals, and other victims. The iron gates at the door sent a cruel message to anyone who came in. To each their own, or to be more direct, "You'll get what you deserve," was written on it. Ilse became a guard at Buchenwald to work with the prisoners on a more human level. She quickly became known for being even more cruel than her husband. She collected tattooed skin. Ilse was a sadist who liked to look for prisoners with tattoos of different designs. Some accounts say she did this because a doctor at the camp asked her to do study on the links between tattoos and crime, which he later wrote a dissertation on. Some say it was just for fun for her. Koch would ride her horse through the camp, and if she saw a prisoner with a tattoo she liked, she would have them caught. The prisoner's skin was then torn off, leaving the scars behind. The prisoner was then killed and burned. Ilse didn't give the experts all of the skins. She kept a few patches as sad reminders of the event in her home. Her skin samples would be very important in the studies that came after. She loved taunting prisoners who were about to be tortured or killed. Ilse Koch liked nothing more than seeing the inmates suffer, both physically and mentally. She would ride through the camp and make fun of the prisoners. If any of them dared to look up, she would whip them badly with her riding crop. People who were going to the gas chambers were made fun of by her, and her house could be seen from the whole camp, as if it were always looking down at them with a scary face. She would take her time choosing which prisoners would be taken away to have their tattoos removed, which made the prisoners even more scared. The most upsetting thing about Ilse was that she found it very satisfying to know that children were dying. People who were still alive later said that she always seemed most excited when children were about to be sent to the gas chambers. She made household items from human skin. Ilse Koch may be best known for how much she loved human skin and how she used it for scary art projects. Her favorite thing to do was collect skin and things made from skin. The SS guards would tan the skin of prisoners with tattoos or anyone else she didn't like that day, and then store it. After that, they gave it to Ilse, who is said to have used it to make herself and the other officers book covers, gloves, and lampshades. She even began to carve skulls and heads that were smaller to show off in her home. Ilse apparently had one item that she was most proud of in her whole collection of decorative human skin items, a handbag for a woman. Ilse would be happy to take the bag so that the guards and prisoners could see it. Some sources say it was made from skin that had tattoos on it. A lot of these things have been seen before, but none of the skin lamps were ever found. She forced prisoners to do harmful and sexual things to each other. When she felt like it, Ilse liked making the prisoners fight with each other. If she couldn't find a tattoo that she really liked, she would sometimes have one of the criminals tattoo someone else in a way that made her happy. The prisoner with the tattoo would then be killed because of their new tattoo. One of her other hobbies, though, was sexually taunting and torturing the prisoners. When she was with male inmates who were hungry and being tortured, she would go out of her way to wear very short skirts and sweaters that were too tight around the waist. She would either watch them do things that made them tired or act like movie stars. For her own fun, she would even make them do sexual things with each other. People inside the camp started calling her the witch, or bitch, of Buchenwald because of this. She displayed human organs in her home. That being said, Ilse liked to play with human skin, but she didn't stop there when it came to body parts. It's possible that she started collecting body parts and organs because she was close with the camp's doctors and guards. She tried making heads smaller and also collected parts that had been preserved. Lungs, brains, hearts, livers, and other body parts were kept alive and used as trophies in her home and the homes of other guards. Some had been used in experiments before, but most were just taken to look nice. Many of these organs were found and used as evidence in later cases because they were so well preserved. She used money, stolen from prisoners, to build a sports arena. There are many truly horrible things Ilse has done, but one of the most egregious was cheating on people with money. It was important to Koch that she had a new place to ride horses and hold other sports events. She thought that the people in the concentration camp no longer needed their money. As soon as she got the money from the prisoners, she stole it and used it to build herself a private running track. This is a lot of money that she stole. After all was said and done, she spent $62,500 in jail money, which is about $1 million today. She slept with a lot of people at the concentration camp. Not only did people at camp think Ilse was a witch, which is bad enough, but they also thought she was a nymphomaniac. It was said that Ilse was in a kind of open marriage. Her husband didn't mind that she had doctors and guards as lovers, and she may have had several children with different men. It looks like her husband not only agreed with her, but was also pretty open about his sexuality. They were said to have orgies for the SS officers and guards at the house they lived in that had a view of the concentration camp. Certain people thought that Ilse's husband was gay or had sexual contact with people of both sexes. That he got syphilis while he was Commandant and Ilse never had it is proof of this. Even the Nazis arrested Ilse and her husband. Since the Nazis were such awful people, it makes sense that anyone caught by them for abuse of power had to have been even worse. In 1941, Ilse and Karl Otto were looked into for being mean and doing things on the black market, such as using money fraudulently. The Koch family was caught in 1943 for both theft and cruelty because they were doing both of those things. Dr. Hoven, Ilse's lover and helper in collecting tattooed skin, was also charged with murder and abuse. Karl Otto was found guilty of murder and skimming money during the trial and was given the death penalty. He was finally put to death. She killed potential witnesses and hid evidence of her crimes. It's hard to believe that Ilse wasn't found guilty at the SS hearing. There weren't enough witnesses to prove her guilt, and it looked like all the physical proof had been lost. Most likely, doctors at the camp helped with this. A Buchenwald report says that Koch gave the order to kill a hospital orderly and his helper. The two doctors had helped Karl Otto Koch with his syphilis and knew what was going on at the camp. They were killed so that lies would stay hidden. It is said that Ilse also killed and burned prisoners who had seen her do illegal things. This way of getting rid of proof worked, and she was freed, much to the horror of many. Germany was not going to win the war, which was bad for Ilse. She was tried for war crimes. When the war was over, Ilse was taken by the Allies. In 1947, she was put on trial for war crimes. This time, a huge number of people went to the American military court at Dachau. They said they saw the tattoos being taken, the organs being taken, the whippings, and even the orgies. That's why she was found guilty the first time and given a life term in prison. Ilse still had one more plan, though. She told the judge that she was going to have a baby. That was a bit of a surprise, both because Ilse was 41 years old and because she had spent most of the time locked up alone. No one is sure for sure who the father was. It could have been a friend who is a doctor, an American guard, or another prisoner. Still, it wasn't enough to change the court's mind, and she had her child while she was in jail. After a while, her sentence was shortened until she had a second trial, with more witnesses and physical proof. This made her life in jail official. She killed herself, possibly haunted by her victims. Ilse Koch's ending seems to fit a little too well. In 1950, at her second hearing, she passed out a lot and seemed tense. When she was in jail, her son visited her and said she was often upset. She begged to be let out of jail several times, but her cries were ignored. She said that the prisoners she had abused and locked up would come to her cell at night and beat and hurt her. The crazy thoughts got worse, and one night Ilse Koch couldn't take it any longer. In 1967, when she was 60 years old, she was found hanging with her own bedsheets. It was decided that she killed herself, and she was buried in a grave at the prison graveyard that wasn't marked and wasn't being cared for. We still don't know where she is buried, but we can be glad that she is dead and won't hurt anyone else again. We hope you liked this video. Watch another video here.